is game 2. I took game 1 after a very long game, but we switched to a non-scuffed ball. Hopefully there'll be a little bit more offense. Eddie's gonna be home today because I was home yesterday. So
yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm gonna tell you guys my arsenal today. So, when we had the scuffed ball, the splitter was nasty. Today we don't have the scuff, and so the splitter's not as nasty. So we're gonna be throwing that a little bit less. It's not gonna have as much movement, but cutter slider like always. And knuckleball was not on today. Tried in warm-ups, was not moving. So sadly, we're not gonna have a knuckleball today. We're gonna have the occasional curveball and four seam. Cutter, slider, splitter, curveball, four seam.
And there's his pitch mix right there. I mean, at cutter and slider is what he relies on the most. You can see the splitters goes in there a bit. That cutter is just almost every at bat you should expect to see a cutter. He's probably gonna start him off cutter. He's gonna probably end it cutter. He's going cutter all the way. The slider moves really nicely off of it though. Drops a bit more. It's a little bit slower. The splitter has nice movement. He said he doesn't like it that much today. Let's see how he uses it. First pitch. Oh. Inside. Yeah, that's the cutter. That's the cutter we were talking about. Loves it. Just a bit inside there. Ian jumps out of the way. 1-0. Swinging a pop-up just under it there. Just flies up. You see the cutter drop in. He's just under the ball. He's going to want that. That cut right into the zone. Yeah, he's not happy about that pitch. He's going to want it back, but let's see if Eddie leaves not a cutter there for him any other time today. Ian waves at the splitter. Used to that cutter, I think he thought it was kind of coming right back at him. That's nasty. Ian isn't used to the ball breaking in like that. I mean, he's used to just that cutter and slider. And that splitter was one of those 3 pitches that he threw back when he had only a 3-pitch arsenal.
Alright, so that was the splitter there. It didn't move much, but it actually might have made it more deceptive. So it could be a good weapon today.
Eddie's saying they didn't want to use it earlier today, but might pick it up. And here he goes. He's picking it up. Remember those days with the curveball, splitter, cutter. He's going back to it. There's the cutter. That dropped a bit more. That dropped a bit more than the normal cutter. A little bit more like a slider. That's a nice dying pitch. It just dies right out of the zone. And Ian's not ready for it, especially after split. There's the curveball, the rare curveball from Eddie. Again, one of those first 3 pitches, just a bit outside. Ian holds off of it. Very readable pitch, but because he only throws it every once in a while, he'll be. I think Ian might be caught off guard by it. The 1-2, outside, high. That's slider. First slider of the day for Eddie. Up and out. Ian lays off of it. It's 2-2. Pitch from Eddie. Splitter. Inside, low. It's a nice pitch. Here it is with the cutter. Just different directions. They're right together and they just go different ways. Almost the inverse of each other. It's a nice pitch. The 3-2. Ian slaps one to the left side, but wider, hung right above the zone. Ian gets on top of it. Ends it right down the line.
Yeah.
Especially with that splitter cutter that we just showed you, but he leaves it just up. Ian was ready for it, slapped it. Single, first base runner of the game for Ian.
I'm on that rising pitch right now.
Yeah. Oh, that one's supposed to drop.
I'm very happy with that at bat.
Ian happy with that at bat, saying that Eddie needs a rising pitch just like he relies on. Here comes Eddie, runner on first, 1 out. Curveball, high, goes back to the curveball. You saw on our graphic earlier that the curveball is an extremely rare pitch for Eddie to throw, but he's thrown 2 already. Let's see how he develops that throughout the game. Oh, cutter right down the middle, and Ian just got under it, flies it out. He got under one earlier in the inning. That was the first out, and Eddie might love that cutter now. Eddie's seeing that Ian gets out on it a lot. We'll see how he uses that. especially with the dropping pitches that he's already throwing. Ian seems a little fooled right now.
Hey, that's a solid inning right there. That's a solid inning. He knows not to come at me with that slider low, so I know it's gonna break up. I'm on that. If he threw, I'm just gonna keep spitting on the down breaking pitches, and then when I recognize a cutter or a slider, just be on that. The last one I wasn't on. That other one I was. I was very happy about that bat. Anyway, 1 2-seam fastball, 2 slider, 3 a bit flatter of a slider, which is it's been a weird one. It's sometimes with this ball it breaks the other way. Oh my god, the guy just walked out of his house with underpants on. Okay, but a little down breaking slider. 4 is changeup. We go 4 is changeup. 5 is the splitter, sinker thing, and blink 2 is curveball. Let's go. My go-to is 2 today. It's working, and then the splitter's working today a lot.
Yeah, Ian loves that slider. If you can locate it, it is almost unhittable for Eddie. He loves to go to it. It's almost his strike pitch. Also his deception pitch. It rises a lot, though. Does not locate it in the zone, but if he can, it's going to be hard for Eddie to hit. Start small splitter. A rare splitter for him there. He uses it from time to time. Usually finds the ground, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he defaults back to that slider now. Another splitter there. I mean, you can see it moving a lot. It moves down, it moves to the arm side a bit, but it finds the ground a lot. That's with a lot of Ian's pitches. He just kind of misses the zone, but they move a lot. 2-0, high. There's that slider. You see how it rises right above the zone. Could be a nice pitch with the splitter. He's thrown the splitter a lot already. We'll see how he develops that, but 3-0 count already for Eddie. There's ball 4. On the 2-seam fastball, you see it moves a lot like the splitter. It's a little bit slowed down. He usually likes to bring it up a bit more. I'm surprised we saw it in that low slot, but he walks the first batter of the inning. There are no outs. Yo, slider way inside. He's not going to be happy with this location of the slider day. I'm already feeling it. He's already missed a few sliders, and that 2-seam is sometimes a strike pitch when the slider's not working, but he can't find it either. Outside, the sweeper. That pitch is supposed to be similar to the slider in horizontal movement, but just kind of stays down a bit more. Can't find the sweep on it. 2-0 already. Ball up, and Eddie thought about it. You saw that rise on the slider, especially with the amount of dropping pitches he's thrown early in this at-bat. But that's 7 straight balls for Ian. Can we come back? No, he can't. He walks the first 2 batters. He's going to have something to say about that.
This is horrible. My pitches aren't going where I want them to go. The flat slider's not working. I don't know. There's nothing I can do. There's no strike pitch I have right now, because usually that's my slider and it's not working. I gotta figure it out.
Yeah, he is in trouble. First 2 batters on walks. Not a good sign for him. That's how he loses a lot of ball games here. I mean, he has to find that strike pitch. As he said earlier, it's that slider, but doesn't have the slider day. We'll see how he deals with it. Ball low. That is the slider according to our pitch tracking. I mean, just didn't rise, didn't sweep. Each use a different ball there. Maybe trying something new. Another slider. Kind of dove away there. Eddie's not used to that movement. I feel like that's a perfect spot for that slider if it comes up and into the zone, but just didn't move. Frustrating for Ian here. 2-0. 3-0 again. He's at risk of walking his 3rd batter of the inning without recording an out. Another riser that just flies above the zone. That's 11 straight balls for Ian. Can he find the zone? This is big. This is a big pitch for him. Outside, it's a bit of a pity swing, if you will, from Eddie, I think. He throws the changeup, maybe trying to float him across, maybe try to get Eddie to bite on something bad, but I think Eddie knows a ball. He just doesn't want to walk. Again, 3-1. That one grounded to the right side, sweeper. Another probably the little defensive swing there on Eddie, even though he's really far ahead in the count, but that's a ground out, 1 out. Eddie and Ian discussing out there to get the out. Runner on first, second, so Ian got the out at 3rd. Runners on first and second still, one out. As Ian found it. It doesn't seem like it, but maybe you can get Eddie to chase a bit. Full count pitch. Riser upstairs. That's a nice pitch. That's the first pitch for me, and that's really been nice. It just stays above the zone. Just hangs there and hangs there. And to Eddie, it might not seem like it's rising from this angle, but to Eddie, that ball just keeps going up, and that's a nice pitch. Goes back to the slider there. Moved a lot more. A little bit inconsistent, which is how that slider goes. So 1-1. Right down the middle. Eddie's not able to capitalize. That is Eddie. Ian knows he got away with one right there. It's 1-2 though. It's a nice sweeper.
All right, so the riser's rising a bit too much right now. I'm just going with the 3 more. 3's working. It's flat.
Ian's saying there the sweeper's working for him. He did just hang that one kind of across the middle, but that's his strike pitch, and that's what he's struggled with. So whatever gets it across, he's got 2 strikes on him. Just can't get too fancy. Can't lose him. There's the splitter. He's moving away from it, but maybe a setup there for a riser or something like that. Again, that splitter finding the ground. He has him 2-2. Change up, Eddie just right in on it. Fights it off to right field, but that's 2 outs, end of the inning. See those last two pitches together. They're together, and one just comes in a little bit, and one drops a lot more. One's a little faster, and one comes in, one stays up. Eddie can only fight it with the knob of the bat. So well done for me in trying to get out of there. A little help from Eddie, honestly. I didn't have to swing at a lot of those pitches, but Ian throws a nice combination at him there to end the inning. Now we go on to the top of the second extra innings. No run on second, no out. Pitch inside the cutter. Again, he loves to lead off with that pitch. Ian has to fight down. He gets his hands to it. Won't foul it off. 0-1 here to start the top of the second. Still no score. Both have gotten on base. The 0-1 pitch from Eddie. That's a nice splitter. He was talking earlier about how he was surprised how Ian could make his splitter move like that, and that's a really nice pitch by Eddie right there. Ian lays off of it, especially after seeing that many cutters. It's a very nice pitch. See how he works off of that. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss there for me, and a big hack. That cutter just went right down the middle, right where he wants it. Ian's sweet spot. It's up and away and low and in. Eddie fights right to it. I don't think Ian was ready for it. He just saw the splitter. He's sold out to the slider there is what he's saying, and just kind of cut. There's the slider. That's what Eddie was kind of holding back. That's what Ian thought was coming last time. But Ian lays off of it. He sees that pitch in real life, maybe. He said stuff about that in the past. So cutter slider looking pretty good right now. Let's see how Eddie develops it. 2-2 pitch outside. There's another slider. He has him full. Here, no outs, no one on. A nice slider. See what he does here. He's in a tough situation. He's already used his cutter and slider. I think Ian's going to be on it. That's what he said earlier. He's on that. So let's see how he goes. Full count. Inside. Holds off the very rare four-seam fastball there from Eddie. Ian doesn't always see the ball move in on him like that. He's not used to it moving in on him. And Ian talking about that there. A lot of pitches moving away from him, but he's able to hold off on the inside. Whoa. Breaking ball, taken, splitter. I apologize for the flyover on the planes. It's pretty loud. Might happen a couple times here. I think Eddie has that four-seam stuck in his mind now. After that nasty one, outside curveball, 2-0 count. He's got that in-breaking pitch in his head. Ian earlier was saying he's on that glove side movement. waiting for it. Eddie's kind of throwing him off a little bit here. There's a cutter above the zone. It's a strange miss from Eddie there. That cutter is usually his pitch. He can get there. 3-0 for Eddie. Runner on first. He could find himself in a tricky situation here if he doesn't find the zone. Taken upstairs. That's another high cutter. Runner on first and second. And Ian was saying that. See the cutter high? If it's just there, crush it. So he's laying off the high cutters. Ooh, that ball just floated right down onto the zone. The four-seam fastball, just right on the corner there. Ian, not much Ian can do about that, to be honest. And that's the four-seam. That's his second four-seam of the inning after we haven't seen it very much at all before that. Ooh, that was a very nice pitch. I'm surprised Ian laid off it. A little bit too much break there, but almost started at his head and then ended down in the lefty batter's box. Very good hold there from Ian. We have a 1-1 count. Top of the second, first and second, no outs. Ian gets in on that curveball and it is foul. Here's that curve. Ian gets down to it, but just a little bit too early. Pulls it foul. Here's that slider from earlier. Starts above his head and just ends even in front of the plate. That's why Ian took it, but just following it all the way, and it goes top right, bottom left. I mean, that's a very, very nice pitch there, and that curveball complemented it nicely. Ian couldn't do much with it, but that low and in, that's his spot. 1-2, the pitch, inside, cutter. Missing the zone with the cutter inside and up today. I don't think he wants to leave one too far out across the zone, though he already has, and he has missed at it. But 2-2 pitch, inside, popped up, out. And that splitter was holding back the splitter the whole time. He threw that cutter, he threw the curveball. Gets his mind off of it, and it was a similar break to that curveball earlier, and he might have even gotten away with one there. He threw the same pitch that Ian crushed foul earlier. Ian was a bit more on time, just still under it. 1 out here, top of the second, the pitch above the zone. That's another hack for Ian, and he misses. That cutter, Eddie's his cutter's going up. His cutter confidence is going up. Because Ian just isn't hitting it. He put it in the zone. Ian isn't hitting it right now. He's getting under a lot. Pitch outside and up. Another cutter. Surprising amount of misses with the cutter today, to be honest. But it goes well with the other pitches. Can he bring it in? 1-1, the pitch. Outside, taken. Ball 2. Curveball. He's been throwing it more than he has in the past, and he's liking it. But Ian has laid off of it a few times. There's Ian saying he's seen the pitch in real life, which is a good reason to hold off of it. 2-1. Oh my goodness, that just clipped the top of the zone. Cutter just falls, hanging, and it just drops in. It moves twice almost. It goes in, then out, right at Ian, and then it just jumps right into the zone. 2-2 pitch, taken, low, splitter. Another full count here. Eddie finds himself in some trouble, but he does have an out already. First and second, the same situation Ian was in last inning. And after that nasty cutter, I'm not sure Ian knows what to think, because he's missing high, he's hitting his low, the 3-2 count, the pitch, swing and slap down to shortstop. Ian unable to get under the cutter once more. He's been under the curveball, under the splitter. Eddie throws him a cutter just above it. Kind of pulls out of the zone, has to slap it to the left side. We saw that in the first inning and it got through, but there he grounds out in a big situation. It's a big way to get out of an inning there for Eddie. He's gonna, hopefully he can ride that momentum. And it's a tough inning for Ian, but I think he's feeling good about his hitting right now. Anyway,
I'm on him like butter on toast. Camera's still going. That's good. It should be a shorter game.
bottom second, still no score. Ian comes up to the mound. Eddie ready at the plate. Pitch outside, sweeper. Unable to sweep back into the zone. It's 1-0 early for Ian. Oh, on the pitch. Oh, that's a pitch Eddie wants back right there. That's a slider that just comes right up to him. Stays in the zone. Doesn't really rise as much as Ian would probably like it to. And Eddie's still under it though. Still under it. That's the beauty of that pitch. Eddie didn't even realize it hit the zone. And he's gonna want that back for sure. He's looking for that slider low because it just comes right up into the zone. That's what he's told us before. Frequency of his splitter though could throw that off a bit. Oh my goodness, that's the same pitch. That's the same pitch from Ian. Eddie visibly happy about that, and I would be too. That's gotta be frustrating for him. Same pitch just floats in there. He's talked about trying to hit that slider forever. He's got given 2 chances to. Ian misses with the curveball up. Trying to throw him off there. We have seen Ian try to get fancy on 1-2, or as he kind of has him with him. I am surprised to see that curveball there. Change up low that Eddie chases at. That's the first out of the second. That's a very nice pitch. It's just there and then just goes away. Oh my goodness, that's a tough swing from Eddie. He's late on the changeup too. Just falls out of the zone. The slider rises. The changeup just disappears. Hard pitch to hit. Eddie slaps it to the right side. Changeup, that gets through. It's a single. Ian went with the changeup twice. Paid for it. There's one out. Runner on first.
Shouldn't have thrown the change up twice. It's alright.
Yeah, Ian knows not to go to the changeup probably now for a couple at bats. At least stay away from the zone. Probably go back to that slider again if he can find the zone with it. Oh, pitch. High drive to left field. Back it goes. Gone! Eddie drives one to left. Opposite direction on a splitter hung right across the zone from Ian. The first one he's thrown in the zone all day. Eddie takes him deep the opposite way. That's the game. Eddie wins 2-0.
That was the first sinker I threw in the zone all day. I want to see that on camera because I felt like a good pitch. I don't think it broke down enough. He just kind of was on it. I threw too many changeups before it, so I think he was used to that downward breaking and slow movement. But the changeup's slow movement. Sinker's sharp. I don't know. Should have gone back to the slider, but didn't want him knowing what was coming. All right. End of the recording.